Well, I hope you got a nice cup of coffee, because I'm going to discuss something which I haven't done much in my life, because it's quite a job. How do you move a 3,000 plus book library? I can recall back in 1980, when we moved from Oklahoma City to St. Mary's, I had 5 boxes of books, which I'd acquired over the previous, about 5 to 6 years, I think it was. And I thought that was quite a lot. Well, in 13 years in St. Mary's, I acquired quite a few books. The Topeka Public Library book sale was a treasure trove. And they don't really have it anymore. There's really, treasures are not there to be found in used books, but that's another story. In 93, my folks and I moved from St. Mary's out to 5 acres just outside of Delia. And so I had to pack up the library. 105 boxes on that move. And then 20 years later, Mom and I moved from that because it got to be just more than we could handle, and continue doing the work of God. Of course, she was up in her mid-80s then. She's now 93. We bought this place here in, almost a year before we sold the one in the country, because it needed work. In fact, it needs work right now, which is why I'm contemplating actually selling this one out and moving into our house of prayer, but that's another cup of coffee. Part of that is, I acquired a lot of books. In 2013 to 2014, after I finally moved in here, in the spring of 14 mainly, I had about 25 boxes, I think, I gathered up that time. I go out, pack up 10 to 15, load around 10 on the truck, drive them back, because I didn't want to load any more on the truck than I wanted to unload at the other end. Because, boxes of books are heavy. And I did that, I don't know how many trips I made. I bring them in, just get them into the house, so in case it rained. Same time, I'm building bookshelves. And first rule, if you got that big a library, is you go floor to ceiling with bookshelves. And, what happened when I moved from Delia to here, and what will happen from here, is some of the bookshelves I had built, because I built them in the actual room they're going in, can't get out of there. They're too big. Your ceiling's typically 8 foot. And if you're like 6, 7 foot wide, you're not going to be able to get through the door. But that's another story. So I built bookshelves, unloaded. I really never got moved into here and got the books sorted as good as I wanted to. So the next time, which may be soon, is, I got to sort them like I did in 93. Because I knew I wasn't going to get to building bookshelves till after we finally moved our own selves out there. And then I'd start building. Because you never know what's going to come up that you're going to need a specific book. So every box was labeled. So let's say it was a history question. I had 3 boxes of history. I could go find what I needed, hopefully, and answer the question. Because I knew if a question came up. Now, 2013, 2014, when I moved from Delia to here, I knew where they were in Delia, and when I unpacked them here, I knew pretty much where they were. Right now, there are a few books I'd like to find, and this time it'll be like the 93 move. They'll all be packed up in boxes for a while, because I haven't quite decided how we want to go about the construction of shelves, how many shelves I can actually move from here. So they're not going to get out of the boxes real quick. Plus, I am a little bit older now. In any case, in 93, what I did, and this is the funny part of it all. I should have had my laugh cup. Okay, how do you move a 3,000 book library? A library that's the same size as the original public library here in what used to be Oakland Grove, Kansas, before it became part of Topeka. I'm not even sure where in Oakland it was. I don't remember what the book said. I'd like to find out where it was. In any case, they had 3,000 books, and I read that I had to smile, because I probably got over 3,000. But like I did, especially in 2013, I guesstimate I had 6,000 to 7,000. 20 years ago into yard sales, book sales, you see a book for 10 to 25 cents that looks like it might be interesting, you buy it. You take it home. You can find, occasionally you get a treasure. And a lot of them, in fact, I sold them off, a lot of them, around 3,000 to 4,000, whatever, for a few $100. Because I didn't want to move them. I had no place to put them. And so I'll be trimming down this time. I don't have near as many books this time, but I can look over the bookshelves here down in the living room area where I got my armchair, and I can see, yeah, I'm not moving that, I'm not moving that. So how do you acquire 105 boxes if you don't want to go to U-Haul? Well, in St. Mary's, I figured out when the liquor stores got their deliveries and when they made their dump run. And you get in about like a day before the dump run, they'll put the liquor out on the shelves, and they'll let you just take the boxes. It saves them having to load them up and take them. So I'd go down and load up. There were two liquor stores at the time, one on the north side. I'd start there, go make a U-turn, and hit the one on the south side. You keep doing that until the rumor goes around that you're an alcoholic. You're hauling out all these cases out of the liquor store. And that's what you're doing. And so that's, in fact, I recommend someone else who's moving a big library. I said, this is what you do. They didn't heed my advice. This time, the liquor store within walking distance, as soon as they empty a box, they collapse it because they just don't have the room. And they got a dumpster they throw it in. So that place isn't going to work. There's one in North Topeka, they got boxes sitting out, but it's for the customers who, instead of buying like a bottle of wine, are buying, several bottles of wine, whatever. They make a regular run up there. Like I do sometimes, because I looked around, I'm short on old wine again. And Father Hoffman found me a wonderful winery down in central Missouri, which I stopped in, and then I get here and I'm up in the liquor store looking for something. Wow, there's wine from that winery. I can get that here. They didn't have the particular one I wanted, so I asked the manager if she'd order me in a case or something. She said, well, I'll just order some in, put it on the shelf. It's become actually quite a good seller for her, I think. But yeah, that's how you move a big library. And then, of course, eventually I'll be building bookshelves. The next move, which may be in the next couple of months, we'll be sharing a cup of coffee. I'll be in a different armchair and a different place. But I've enjoyed having this cup of coffee with you today. And in fact, it's always a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you again. God bless y'all.